know that we were studying this topic on the use of drug and all that, and we're fortunate that Officer Christian is with us, and we really appreciate, sir, your time, and we hope that this session will be very informative. And as we spoke earlier also that he's going to talk for maybe half an hour or so, and then after that we can give you some time for question and answer, inshallah. All right? Okay.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon,
Tuesday
yes.
afternoon. Am I too loud or that's?
It's good.
Okay. Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Dunn from the Bibb County Sheriff's Office here in Macon, Georgia. How many of you all are from Macon? Okay, majority. Okay, good. Anybody here from Atlanta? Okay, all right. Welcome down. Welcome down to Macon. I'm here to talk about drugs. And is there anything we already know about drugs? What? Don't drink alcohol.
Smoking.
Bad for your health.
Using tobacco for smoke can attack your lungs.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, everything we seem to know about drugs is bad for you. I know growing up, my mother told me to stay away from drugs. Don't use drugs. I held true to that for my whole life. As I got older and started to learn a little bit more, I noticed that there may be some reasons why we use drugs. And one of those reasons why we use drugs may be because of this topic that affects you now as a teenager is peer pressure. Anybody aware of peer pressure is? If I see my friend using the drug, then I think it's what? Okay. That's not true. A lot of times, as you grow and keep getting older, a lot of values that your parents teach you now, they will be seen later on in life. Is there anything now that you like to do that your parents may say, no, don't do it right now, wait till you get later in life? One of those things might be dating, right? Your parents don't want you to date now, do they? No dating right now. Your parents tell you what, you can date and find a husband or wife when? Later on in life, right? Right now, your parents want you to focus on what now? Study, school, anything to improve yourself. Your parents want you to work on yourself right now. Getting married, guys, it's sort of like, right? Girls are sort of like, right? Late on in life, right? So a lot of times your parents talk to you about drugs now. You may not can see it right now, but it will help you out later on in life. Doing the CHAMPS program, I learned that, and I can tell you some stories, I learned that the drugs that people use, and one of those drugs may be methamphetamine. That methamphetamine is made from the same thing that cleans your pipes out. Has anybody ever had their pipes stopped up at home? Your sink stopped up at home? Or have either one of you ever stopped your sink up at home? Nobody ever seen a stopped up sink where you have to plunge it? Or the toilet you have to plunge it? Alright. The same thing that you may pour in your toilet to clean that, plunge it out, the grease, the dirt, the grime, to make that pipe work again, it's the same thing that they put in methamphetamine. Liquid plumber. Red Devil Lye, which is the same thing that they smoke and ingest in your body. Now when you go to the store, have your parents ever had you buy liquid plumber? You've ever bought anything to clean your pipes out? You have? On there, is it a symbol or something that says no, right? The skull and crossbones, which means, hey, this is bad for you, harmful to swallow. That same thing is what's used to clean your pipes out, or what's used to also make methamphetamine. So we should have a clue that that's not good for us. I was a story one time I tell you about methamphetamine. A guy came to our jail, and he was being brought in for some charges. And he asked me the charges. We fingerprinted him and everything. Got him prepared to make a phone call to get out of jail because he could bond out. Well, I set him in a chair and I asked him, I said, well, have a seat in that chair. And right by that chair was a phone. And he said, what's my bond amount? I told him I think it was maybe $1,500. And at that time, that was a long time ago. Well, he sat down in the chair and I said, go ahead and call someone to come bond you out. And he said, okay. And I said, you know your parents' phone number? He said, yes. And I said, okay, well, the only thing you got to do now is dial 9 and the number. So I went back to work booking another inmate in, and I looked over, and he wasn't using the phone. And I said, well, what's wrong? He said, what do I need to do to get in touch with somebody on the outside, my parents? I said, dial 9 and the phone number. He said, okay. Well, he picked up the phone, and he hit 9, and he stopped. And I said, well, maybe he's thinking about the number, so I'll check back on him in a few minutes. Well, when I looked back over, he hung the phone back up. And then I said, no, go ahead and call somebody to get you out. He said, oh, okay. Well, he picked up the phone, and he dialed the 7 digits. And he said, hey, I keep getting a funny tone. So I walked over and got the phone from him, and I could hear the busy signal. Boom, 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 boom. The busy signal was going on. And I said, okay, dial 9 and the number. He said, okay. He picked the phone back up again, he dialed 9. And he put the phone to his ear, and he just waited. And I said, okay. Maybe he dialed a number, and I just didn't see him dial a number, but he had the phone up. And he said, hey, officer, nobody's on there. The call's not going through. I said, wait a minute. Did you dial 9 and the number? He said, yes. So I went over, I said, what's the number? He said, 9. I said, okay. No, what's your phone number that I need to dial? He said, wait a minute. So I said, okay, hold on, let me put the phone back up. He said, okay. I said, write down your phone number to your parents. He wrote the phone number down. And I said, okay, thank you. I got the phone number, I dialed 9. And I dialed the number for him, and his parents came on the phone. And he said, thank you. But nobody answered. So later on, it gave him another chance later on to use the phone. And I said, hey, dial that same number to call your parents. He dialed his 7-digit phone number. And he said, hey, the phone is busy again. And I said, no, it's not. It shouldn't be busy. So I went over and I dialed the number for him again. I dialed 9 plus his 7-digit phone number. I said all that just to say that the methamphetamine drug that he was taking, he couldn't receive the thought of dialing 9 and his phone number. He could do either one or the other. He couldn't do both of them at the same time. So just telling y'all that the drug methamphetamine, it attacks your central nervous system. And your central nervous system is what? Brain. How we move. What do we think about? The things we do. It attacks the central nervous system. So that little simple thought. And you all are smarter than your parents, aren't you? You are, let me ask this, you are going to be smarter than your parents, right? Right, each generation is supposed to be smarter. All right, so but I ask you now, if I ask you to dial, put a 9 in front of the phone number, if you had to dial your parents, could you do it? You could, couldn't you? Methamphetamine attacks the central nervous system, the brain, and the body to where he could not dial 9 and the phone number. He could not dial 7 digits plus that one more 9 to make it 8. But now what? Your generation what? You used to put what? You can dial how many numbers at least one time? 10, right? You got the 7 digit, and then now what? A lot of times with your cell phone, you got to do what? Dial the area code, right? So you all are starting to be a little bit smarter than us older people, right? Because we used to just dial 7 numbers. I could dial my mama's phone number, 746-2112. Fine. Now I got to dial 478-746-2112. I'm like, man, why do I have to dial an area code? But now your generation, because we have so many numbers in Georgia, you have to do it. To make a long story short, that methamphetamine will attack your brain and your central nervous system to where you cannot function. Is that good or bad? Bad. All right. Alcohol. I heard someone say something about alcohol. Alcohol is a depressant that makes you feel sad. How many of you teenagers wake up every day trying to feel sad? Well, everybody here should wake up being happy, right? What does today hold? I want to be happy. All right? Alcohol makes you sad. Alcohol is bad for you. It can lead to esophageal cancer, which is cancer of your esophagus. Alcohol is bad for your stomach. And what the thing alcohol does to your body, alcohol comes in. It goes into your body, down your esophagus, and into your stomach. Inside in your stomach, too much alcohol wears away at the lining of your stomach. And inside your stomach, you have a tough lining. It's sort of like the toughest material you could think of, and that holds all your food and everything in. Alcohol, if you consume too much alcohol, it breaks that lining down. How many of you ever got a cut or a bite, and then your mom or dad puts alcohol on it, and then it stings, and then you start shaking your hand like this, and you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. All right. Alcohol does the same thing to your stomach, but it's on the inside of your stomach. So everything you consume, the food and everything you drink, goes down into your stomach. Alcohol goes down there too, and it eats away at the lining of the stomach. So once it finds a weak spot in that stomach, it eats at it. And once it's eating at it, it makes that weak spot get bigger and bigger and bigger. So every time you consume alcohol, it causes a pain in the stomach. And a lot of times if you see people that are addicted to alcohol, you may see them when they drink alcohol, they're holding their stomach because it's causing them pain. It's a burning sensation in there. But because they're addicted to it, the only thing they know is that they want the alcohol, which is bad for you. Alcohol also destroys your liver. It destroys your liver and makes your liver almost to the point where it doesn't function. And it causes cirrhosis of the liver. It takes an organ that would be maybe pink in color and turns it brown or dark brown. It's bad for you. Then on the cigarettes. And I'm glad that my generation, cigarettes were kind of no-no. But prior to my generation, my parents, cigarettes were thought to be cool. You know, hey, I look so cool if I could smoke a cigarette and take it down and smoke a cigarette. But it's not. They learned later on in life, not from that generation to my generation, that cigarettes start to destroy your esophagus, your throat. It starts to take your lungs that contract and expand. It starts to make those lungs just turn into a hard, brittle surface. And in everybody's lungs, your lungs contract and expand every time. When you breathe in, you breathe out. You breathe in, you breathe out. When your chest lifts up and lifts down, that's your lungs contracting and expanding every time. Taking air in, giving out carbon dioxide. Well, cigarettes start to take that process away from your lungs. Cigarettes start to take the process whereby your lungs contract. They don't do it so well anymore. And then they expand. So a lot of times you see people that are addicted to cigarettes, they're what? Short on what? They're breathing hard. They're short on breath. You may ask them to walk out to the parking lot. And then once they walk out to the parking lot, they come back in. And then that makes them hard on breathing. So the lungs don't expand and contract like they should. It destroys the sacs that are inside the lung that holds the oxygen. Because all these functions are good for best for your body to live with. That we covered But alcohol, which is bad for your pancreas and your stomach and your liver. Cigarettes, which are bad for your lungs. And methamphetamine. Methamphetamine is a different drug, and it causes sores to be on your skin. It has sores on your skin from a person that has methamphetamine. Methamphetamine causes you to lose teeth. Right now, everybody here has a good smile, right? Show me your smile. You got all your teeth, right? Methamphetamine causes you to lose your teeth. You lose them, and probably usually it's your teeth, and they start to decay. It destroys your central nervous system, which eventually destroys your body. What would be one of the reasons, and we talked about, I know we need to hit back on this, but one of the things that you're going to deal with in life that's in front of you, mostly a topic that's in front of you, which is bullying and probably peer pressure. Bullying and peer pressure are probably two of the things that you're going to deal with. The adults here, we don't deal with bullying and peer pressure as much as you do, right? Y'all see us as what? They're old people, right? You can tell, I see some of y'all smiling. You can tell us, it didn't hurt me. They're old people. They're what? What kind of what? Boring, right? I don't know why you all don't want to say it, but I can say it. They're old people. They're boring. What do they like to do? Sit home and watch television, right? They want to stay home, right? What do you like to do? You like to go, right? You like to do things. You may watch television a little, but you may try to watch television on the internet because you want to see something different than what's on there. So a lot of times, peer pressure and bullying to us usually doesn't happen. But to you, because you're around somebody your age every day in school, and a lot of times they want you to do things that they do. And some of those things that they do, they don't have a clear understanding if they're right or not. So a lot of times when you seek advice, who do you seek advice from? Parents. But those same people you call boring and old, right? Why do you seek advice from them? They know what's best. So a lot of times when you're seeking advice in life, the person to your right or left of you may not be a good person to receive advice from. The best advice usually comes from parents. Parents that have experienced things. Parents that have been around bad people and said, hey, let me stay away from that person. So when you're seeking advice, keep an open mind and seek your parents first. And most of the time, what your parents tell you, pretty much 100% of the time, is right. Your parents have been through or made the mistakes, so now they don't want you to make those mistakes. And one of those mistakes in life is drugs. Stay away from them. There's nothing good about it. There are also people that abuse prescription medication. Y'all know what prescription medication is? How many of you take medication in here? I do. I took it this morning. And anybody here has asthma? Have to take a pump? That's prescription medication, all right? Any of your parents ever had back pain? They were doing something in the yard at home or doing something, and dad or mom lift up something that was too heavy, and then you heard them say, oh! And then they had to go to the doctor, and they walk around slower than they normally walk. And then they had to go to the doctor and get a pill that takes the pain away, a Motrin. Or they may have had to have something that was a little bit stronger. And they had to go to the doctor and receive a pill which they call Loratab. Loratabs are fine if you're using them as prescribed. And usually on the bottle, it may say, take one every 4 hours, right? Or one every 6 hours, or take one tablet twice a day, right? Has anybody ever looked on their parents' pain medication bottle and said, take as many as you want? No, they didn't do that. All right? So if those people that are taking that medication just taking one after another, a lot of times those people are abusing that medication. In law enforcement, a lot of times when we think of a DUI, what do we think of? What drug is involved? Alcohol. But guess what? There are more people driving around that are addicted to pain medication and oral tablets than they are on alcohol. All right? So a lot of times, and also on your parents' bottle, who's ever looked at their parents' medication? I mean, just looked at the bottle. All right? Put your hand down. On that bottle, do you see little red stickers, maybe little yellow stickers, or something on those bottles? Can anybody tell me what one of those stickers may say? Do not take with alcohol. What else? Oh, keep out of reach of children. There you go. Keep out of reach of children.
Don't drive.
Also on that bottle,
Don't
it
drive.
may say, do not operate heavy machinery. Now, young people, is a car or bad heavy machinery? What do you think? Could it possibly be? Yes. So what would your parents do to be responsible? Not take it while driving. Or if they have to get up in the morning and take you to school, even though the doctor tells them to take the medicine in the morning, what might your parents do? Take you to school first, and then maybe when they get to work, then they do what? They take the medication. All right? What if mom and dad worked in a career where they had to work around heavy machinery? There's an option. You may not have to take that medicine during the day. You can take that medicine at night. So that that medicine is working for your body when you're at home or when you sleep. And then when you wake up in the morning, you don't have to take it. You can go on to work. So there's options around it. But the people we're talking about, since we're talking about drugs, they are people that abuse those drugs. Those people that take them and just take them, and they just take them just to be taken them. And then I'll tell you something I learned from a doctor in one of the classes I went to. The human body is made to correct itself. If you have a broken finger, the human body is going to repair that broken finger. It just may take time. Now, us boring and older people, as you all call us, we may take longer time to heal than you younger, energetic people. Okay? I may break my finger. It may take my finger 6 weeks to heal. Whereas you, it may take 3. And then you say, hey, mom, dad, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go play. And then they say, wait a minute, are you sure it's healed? And you say, yes, I feel fine. And sure enough, they take you back to the doctor for the x-ray, your finger is ready to go. Whereas us people like us, we might say, wait a minute, I don't feel good. I'm going to have to stay out of work a little bit longer. My finger's not all the way healed. It's not healed. So keep in mind that those drugs, the body is made to repair itself. You should not be on a pain medication more than the doctor prescribes it to be. Now, there are some cases in which, when Dad picked up that box and he hurt his back, he really did some bad damage. So he may be on pain pills a little bit longer than a normal person would. But the body is made to repair itself and heal itself so that you don't have to stay on pain medication your whole life. Now, there are some instances whereby you may have to stay on that medication. If it gives mom and dad a little pain relief, I got a friend right now, his hip is bone on bone. So that means when he walks, his bone is scraping the other bone. So he has constant pain, and he's waiting to have a surgery done. That's just a part of, well, he's older than me, so that's just a part of getting old. His hips cartilage started to wear out, and so it was bone on bone. So he's got to wait before he can get his surgery. But you're young and energetic now. Your parents are telling you to stay away from drugs. Don't destroy anything that you have in that precious body now. Keep it, preserve it, take care of it. And the only thing drugs do is they take away from that. Remember that peer pressure. You're going to be involved in peer pressure. Your friends are going to want you to try it. Your friends, one of the first things they're going to say is, look at me, I tried it. Won't you try it? I want you to rely on what your parents have taught you. Your values at home, which says no. Stay away from the drugs. Right now, a lot of times in music, we hear about drugs. Telling you to mix the drugs together. And when you mix drugs together, you get complications of the human body. How many of y'all heard the guy, I think his name, Lil Wayne, rapper? He's a rapper. What was happening to him? Can anybody tell me what was happening to him? Had to go to the doctor. What was he going to the doctor for? Anybody knows? Yeah, he went to the doctor because he was having some problem with his body. Did anybody remember what it was? Let me give you a clue. You remember? He was having seizures. He was having blackouts. He would be on stage at a concert doing this thing and rapping or whatever, and next thing you know, he's laying on the ground. He's laying on the ground, and then when he wakes up, he didn't know what happened. He just knew he was at a concert, and that was it. He didn't remember anything. Well, Lil Wayne was mixing drugs. He was mixing a depressant, which is alcohol. What depressants do? Make you sad. They slow your body down. Then he was mixing, I think, synthetic marijuana. Marijuana does what? Makes you a depressant too, right? So he's got two depressants. And then now he was mixing it, I think, with some cocaine. Which cocaine does what? Speeds your body up. So now, what does your heart think? Do you want me to slow down, or do you want me to speed up? Do you want me to slow down, or do you want me to speed up? Just to contrast that and compare that, when you go running, what does your heart do? Speeds up. And it says what? Hey, my body is running. I'm running. Let me keep going. Let me speed up the beats per minute. That's fine. That's good, healthy things for your body. But your heart is telling it that. Your body is telling it that. But in the case of Lil Wayne, he was taking two depressants. He was mixing alcohol, marijuana, and cocaine. And then he was mixing some other drugs into it until his heart just said, you know what? Make up your mind. Do you want me to speed up, or do you want me to slow down? And then his heart decided it couldn't make up his mind, so the heart said, guess what? How about I just stop for a little while? And when your heart stops, guess what? Things start to happen. That's why you end up on the floor. Another guy, Rick Ross, which is a rapper, he was doing drugs, and he was doing the marijuana. And I'm gonna gross you all out for a little bit, okay? This little story I saw. I went to a drug investigative class, and they went to Mexico, and there I think they were growing marijuana. And in Mexico, they seem to think that the best way to attack America is by to destroy the youth. Right? The best way to attack America is destroy the youth. Because they said now, if they can get you hooked on drugs now, guess what later on you'll be addicted to drugs. All right? So the best way to attack America is destroy the youth. The core of the United States. You're the youth. You're our future. So they go on site, and this is a marijuana field in Mexico. And they go in, they interview a couple of people, and those people, they work there. They protect the marijuana fields. And they go there, and they had one guy, he had a dog, and he was walking around the outskirts of the field. and in this part of Mexico, they were isolated. The government didn't really have enough money to enforce the laws, because I think the marijuana is illegal in Mexico too. So they didn't have enough government to enforce it. So they were out here in a secret area, and they allowed the cameras to come in. And the cameraman came in, and he talked to one of the guards there. And the guard told him, say, hey, I have to be here 24 hours a day. I don't go home. This is my home. As long as the marijuana crops are growing here, I have to be here to protect them. So he has guns and they have dogs there to protect, because dogs can hear good. If somebody else is coming, the dogs can hear them before they come. And the guy said, yeah, this is it. When I have to go to the restroom, we have a restroom for us. And so the cameraman asked him, said, well, where does the dog use the restroom? Anybody here has dogs? Nobody has a dog? No one has a dog? It's all right if you do, if no one has a dog. Well, to make a long story short, he said the dogs, when they have to use the restroom, they go out into the marijuana field and they use the restroom. And the dogs use the restroom on the plants. Now, what do we know about plants? Where does it get its nutrients and its moisture from? What? The soil. So if a person uses the restroom in the soil, guess what the plant is probably doing? Grabbing its nutrients from the soil. So what is going to go into the plant? Yeah, the urine from the dog and the animal feces, right? And then the cameraman was like, huh? Yeah, they just go out there and use the restroom. Like, okay, cool. And then he said, when the plant starts to grow, they go out there to each plant and then inject the steroid into the plant and makes the plant grow faster, taller, and makes more leaves. So now, not only does that marijuana plant have dog urine in it, right? Now it has what? Steroids in it. And once it grows and reaches its full capacity, do you think they take the dog urine out and the steroids out? No. They bundle it up and do what? Send it secretly to America. And then when you get to America with it, what are you hearing on the radio? They're telling you to do what? Drugs. And most of the people, the artists are telling you do drugs and it's all right for you. But I don't know about you all, but I like my plants to be grown in a nice area, free from dogs, and without steroids, right? And I think they're using a good word now they're using for you all. Now the word is organic. It's grown safely. The soil is nice. Everything is nice, the proper growing. And the only thing they have to do on that plant, on that seed is what? Put water on it. And then it grows. We don't need anything being ingested in our body that has steroids in it, or either the other thing in it. All right? And that's why I said I wanted to gross y'all out a minute. I saw this on a video and I couldn't believe that. And then they asked the man, they say, hey, after the weight, they get to go home. And so all during the video, I was just thinking about, what about the dog poop? You know, he said after they pull the plants up, they just go out there with a tiller and just turn the ground. And nobody's out there cleaning it out. They just turn the ground, they just leave it. And then guess what they do next? Plant again. So that same dog that was there, his feces is there in that ground again, and they start to grow again. That's why I said I wanted to gross you out, trying to keep you away from drugs. I learned a long time ago to stay away from it. The only drugs I've ever had to take was my asthma medicine when I was little. I would go outside and run and play, and then when I come back inside the house, my mom would have the heat on, and that heat would hit me, and I'm like, you know, I got all this cold air in my lungs, and now I'm about to throw some hot air with it. And so now that made it to where I was like, ooh, my lungs are like, what do you want me to do? I got cold air, you want me to do hot air? Or what? So I had to use my little pump. And come to find out, years later, after going to the doctor, I had what they call is exercise-induced asthma. My asthma comes when I'm starting to run and do everything. And then when I stop and calm down, my asthma goes away. So as I became an adult, what I try to do is, I try not to rely on my pump. You know, I use it if I have to, but I just try to get somewhere and calm down. So when I run, when I would go running, I would get in my car after I'm through and just sit there for a little bit. and just let my body calm down a little bit. And then I found out I really didn't need that asthma medicine, because my asthma would only come when I am exercising or moving. It's 1:30. Should I try to? Is there anything I need to try to ask, or you all want to ask me that I can try to answer? I'm not an expert on drugs. The only thing I know I'm an expert on drugs about is that they're bad for you. Let me see. I brought some little pamphlets I can talk about right quick. These, in my day, they were called club drugs. That people went to the club and they used these drugs there. Not anymore. A lot of those drugs now are on the street, or in the school, or in places where you should not be using them, and they're there. Another pamphlet that I have, it just talks about you as teenagers. Now, if your parents put pressure on you, is it all right? Yes, it is. That's called discipline. Yeah. If your parents say, you better take that trash out, and you can hear it in the voice, is that pressure? Yes, you know you better take that trash out, right? That's all right. That maybe we need to term that parent pressure. Parent pressure is okay. Peer pressure is not okay. And as we talked about earlier, peers don't give good advice. You even said it yourself, teenager, that you get your advice from who? From who? Parents. And sometimes when you get older, remember that you get your advice from parents. And I think a lot of times we have problems in society now is because a lot of times you all start making decisions of yourself without seeking advice of your parents. If you take your problems to your parents, I'm pretty sure they'll give you good advice. That person sitting to your right or left of you, they may not give good advice. It's best you go to the source and get good advice with your parents. Don't keep secrets. Seek your parents for advice. Even if you have a problem. And I know growing up, I've had problems. I didn't want to talk to anybody but my parents. All right? I didn't want my friend to know. All right? And this is kind of true, I didn't want my friends to know I had asthma. Because I didn't want to pull out my pump in class and use it when we just came from recess. I was like, man, I don't want them to think I'm really sick. But my mom told me, look, you better use that pump when you need to. I bought it, sent it to school, it's for your health. So I got some good advice first, so I used my pump no matter what my friends thought. And then after a while, some of my friends were like, hey, can I use it? I was like, no. You don't have asthma? No, this is my pump. And so keep in mind, in life, if you seek your parents' advice, don't hold any secrets, talk to your parents, you don't have to worry about peer pressure. Let your parents know what's going on. If there's someone trying to press you to do something in school every day, or any walk of life, let your parents know. And then next, I have a little pamphlet here that talks about how teens abuse medication. And that's what we talked about before. If mom and dad has a pain pill, the Loratab, they're only supposed to take it for 2 weeks. And dad takes it for 2 or 3 days. And then a child goes home and says, hey man, my dad has some Loratab. He doesn't use them anymore. I'll go sell these. That's bad for you. So a lot of times teens abuse this medication too. And the Loratab gives a high. But that high is not good for you because that's taking a pain medication. You're taking a medication that's prescribed for your parents, which is probably not good because the dosage may be for your adult parents and the dosage is different probably for a teenager. Adults might take 2 tablets. Teenagers might be wise for them to take only 1 tablet. All that is important to you as you grow older. So 2 tablets may do your body damage. And you only got, how many bodies do you have? 1. How many hearts do you have? 1. How many lungs do you have? Uh-oh. How many pancreases do you have? How many livers do you have? So don't you think you need to take care of them? How many sets of teeth do you have? A top and what? Bottom. Don't you need to take care of the top and bottom? It's kind of bad to smile and, you know, you got one missing. All right, isn't that kind of bad? You got teeth, protect them. I know your parents probably press you into that. What should you do to your teeth? There you go, brush them. There you go. Don't just go to the mirror and smile. You know, hey, you gotta, you know, get in there and brush them. All right. They even make things easier for you now to what? You just put the toothbrush in, right? And just hold it there and what? Turn it on. That's all for your health and taking care of your teeth and everything. And I didn't know this several years ago. Did you know there was a tongue brush? Yeah, I did. Okay, all right. It's sort of like you put it on your tongue and just wipe your tongue clean or something. And I was like, ugh. All that stuff came off my tongue, but just to let you know, all those things there for your health. So as we kind of recap everything, drugs are bad for you, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Correct.
All right. No matter what, musician, actor, actress, okay, actor or actress, okay. No matter what they tell you about what they've done, it's not good for you. I know when I was growing up, some of the music people were saying, hey, I got shot and it was all right. It was all right. Yeah, I lived, I'm strong, and I'm better. I don't want to live my life to get shot. I don't need to feel the bullet to know that, oh, it's all right, it wasn't that bad. No. All right? So a lot of times, that was comparison those from then, and you hear some of the music now, some of the people saying, like it's something good to say, I got shot 2 times. What were you doing to be in front of a gun to get shot 2 times? You know, didn't the first time hurt? Why were you there? So evidently, if you got shot 2 times, you were doing something that's wrong in life to even put yourself in a situation in which the gun was there. If you got robbed, give them the credit card. Give them the money. Which is more precious, your credit card and money or your life? Give it to them. I'm pretty sure your parents would say, give them whatever they ask for. They would rather you come home. They want you coming home. We can get another credit card. You can get some more money. But you can't get another you. You're unique and you're the only one. And your parents love you and take care of you. I think that's why I'm here talking about drugs, to tell you all to stay away from. And I point at everybody, stay away from the drugs. They're nothing but bad for you. I know you all get tired of us adults saying, can't do this, can't do that. That's true. It's bad for you. Now, are there any questions? Would it be all right to open up for questions? I talked long enough. I guess I better be quiet and get some questions from you all. Yes, sir. He said, how much do you drink to lose all the line or something? It's different. I only knew of one person where a girl that I knew, her grandfather was addicted to alcohol. And when he would drink, it would hurt, it would cause him pain in his stomach. And because his lining had been so destroyed, and once the alcohol finds a weakness in your stomach lining, the alcohol goes to that weakness. And it causes it to burn. And even though he stayed away from alcohol about 6 months, the minute that he tried to take another drink again, that alcohol went right back to the weakness of his stomach lining. And it takes a long time for your stomach lining to repair, if it does repair. All right, but keep in mind too, the stomach lining puts up with some of the most toxic acids in the body. That if those acids were to leave the stomach lining and leak out into your body, it would destroy other parts of the body. So keep in mind, your stomach is not just to hold that food there. Those acids inside your stomach break down the food, keep everything in your body, in your food, in your stomach, and break it down. But if those acids that were in your stomach were in your liver, they would eat the liver up. So the stomach is needed protected. I like my stomach, it's kept some stuff in there. I'm glad it does. That's why I need to lose weight now. But I'm glad my stomach is working and functioning. It keeps the acids and breaks down the food inside that one area. So to say how much does a person have to drink, it varies. It's different. My stomach lining might be stronger than your stomach lining. And it may take one drink for you to start destroy your stomach lining, whereas mine it may not ever destroy. So just saying all that, just stay away from the alcohol. And then there have been other cases where doctors say use it in moderation. But alcohol, just the speed, is a depressant. And then it destroys your stomach if you're drinking too much of it. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Yeah. See, let me tell you about me. Growing up having asthma, I can smell smoke. I can smell just about anything. I don't know, I said, I believe I got like a nose like a dog. I can't stand cigarette smoke. At a barbecue, I don't even like to be near the grill. I don't want the smoke hitting me in my face. I just can't stand smoke. I just don't like smoke. Your parents have been knowing you for a long time. They probably know when you got a pimple on your face. Right? A lot of times you can't see yourself. But guess who can? Your parents. When they see you walk in the door, they do a quick assessment of you. It's sort of like a computer game. It goes up and down. They do a quick assessment of it. And then in that assessment, it's called your gait. You know what your gait is? What's your gait? Anybody know? Any future doctors? I heard somebody say it. How you walk. Now, if you normally walk in a straight line, and you walk that way, guess what your parents are doing? That's how my baby walks. Now, if you come in there this a couple of times, this a couple of times, this a couple of times, then when mama says something, then you're like, oh, let me walk like I normally walk. Your parents have already seen it and made an assessment of it. You can't hide anything from your parents. Also, a lot of times the things you do to your body shows up in your eyes. A lot of the people that we have work for the sheriff's office, they're called drug recognition experts. I'm not one. I've just had the DUI classes. But these guys that work for the sheriff's department, they've gone to school. And that school, those classes have been taught by professionals that where they can feel your pulse. Your pulse. They can take your pulse and see if it's elevated or not. Along with that, and the movement of your eyes, they can tell you what category of drugs you're in. I don't know if your parents are doctors now, but when you come in the door and you're going right and left and right and left, and then you try to all of a sudden walk up straight when she says something, he says something, and then we say, come here, baby, let me check your pulse. And your pulse is elevated. Do they need to be a doctor, a lawyer, a doctor or a nurse to know that? No, they know it. Your parents see you every day. You can't see yourself. They see you when you're not looking. Even when you get out the car in the morning after you kiss them, or you know, for some of y'all probably age now where y'all don't want anybody to see you kiss or hug your parents right before you go to school. You know, you try to tell them to stop down the street. Let's do this down the street, mom and dad. And so when we get up in front of school, I just look tough and get out the car, Grab my book bag and just get out the car and keep going. Even when you get out the car and grab your book bag and you're going, guess what? Your parents are still watching you. They're watching your gait then to see how you walk when you got something heavy on your back, like the boots. They know how you walk. So if you come in the house and you're not walking the same, they know something's not right. They look into your eyes and they know something's not right. And then most of the time when you do something bad, that's the first thing you do, you try to hide, right? Hey, mom, see you later. Hey, mom, I'm home, see you later. No. That's not usually what you do, because most of the time you come in the house, Mom, what you got to eat? But then at night now you come in, hey Mom, I'll see you later. No, so she knows some things. And the good thing about Mom and Dad, even if you come home in the afternoon, late, they may not have to get up and see you. They may know, okay, let me just listen and see if he moves them cookies around in the kitchen. Let me see if I hear the refrigerator open and close. Okay. Let me see if I hear them put the glass on the counter. Okay, I heard the glass. Okay, they've gone to the room. I hear them talking on their cell phone. They got food in their mouth. Okay, I know that everything is normal. But when you come in and you hide something, hey Mom, see you later, bye. You covered up your fun. So parents have a good intuition, a good know-it-all. And let me just tell you this, as you get older, and as you go out with your friends, and you come back with your friends, you may not know this, but your parents are worried about you, and they want to see you go and come safely. They don't want to see you go and do things with people that are bad, and then come back home. That's not okay with parents. So if you go and come back safely and get with a good group of friends that don't put peer pressure on you to do the wrong thing, life is much, much happier. Parents don't say, hey, come here, let me see you. You know, they don't do that unless they think something's wrong. All right? So if you go and come back and you're not doing anything wrong, not involved in drugs, that's okay. But you can't. Let me tell you, you can't outsmart them. You may as well just play the game with them. You know, I got a nephew. I don't have any children. I got a nephew, but he went to the fair, and his mom told him to be home by midnight. Dad told him to be home by midnight. He goes to the fair, calls Mom and Dad, and says, hey, you want a candy apple? They said, yeah, you can bring us one. Bring us one. He said, okay, I just want to let you know the line is real, real long. Okay. I said, okay, give me a candy apple. He comes home around 1 o'clock. Said, Mom, Dad, that candy apple line was long. But I got you a candy apple. And I left it downstairs in the kitchen for you. You can be there in the morning. They said, okay. They said, Dave, he said, yes. Leave those keys right there on the counter. I said, why? I said, well, we told you to come home at midnight, not at 1 o'clock. He said, but the candy apple line was long. They said, well, you should have gotten the candy apple line earlier, because we told you to be home at midnight. Your parents, don't try to fool them. Don't try to play those tricks on them. Hey, Mom, Dad, you know, I had to change my tire, and when you get home, the tire's on there that was on there when you left. No, don't try to play those tricks. But keep in mind, those parents, they want you to go out and do some things that are safe and come back safe. Yes. Oh, DUI, that's driving under the influence. And that under the influence can mean under the influence of drugs or alcohol. I'm sorry, I should say that. It's driving under the influence of drugs or alcohol. And right now, there are more people driving under the influence of drugs than there are alcohol, because the drugs are a lot of times so readily available. Yes, ma'am.
So if a teenager is driving with a group of his friends who are also teenagers, and the car gets, they get pulled over by a car, and they found drugs with them in the car. Now the kids were not using it, but the drugs were in the car. What happens in that situation for people who are in the car?
The bad thing is, the drugs that are in the car, guess what? They're going to say those are your drugs. All right? In that same scenario, if there are drugs in the car, the teenagers are not using the drugs, and there are drugs in the car, they're going to say those are your drugs. That's the bad thing about it. Now, I'm going to use me as an example. I'm driving a van. I came and picked up my 4 friends right here. I picked up my 4 friends. I got drugs in the car, in my van. They have no idea I have the drugs in the car. They got in the car, we didn't use any drugs, we didn't do anything. They have no idea I got it. I'm the driver. Usually a lot of time when the officer pulls someone over, and there are drugs found in the car, do you think I'm going to say they're mine? What do you think, teenagers? What do you think? What do y'all think I'm going to? Those are not my drugs. What do you think, teenagers? Those his. And he gave them to him. And then he passed them to him, and then he passed them to him, and then that's where y'all found them, officer. And then he gave them to me. So it's his fault. Usually in law enforcement, unless I say, look, that's my drug, all of y'all probably gonna get charged with possession of that drug. Would I be a good friend? No. But times too often, and then let's just add another step to it. What if I'm on probation? I've been in trouble before, and they told me I can't get in any more trouble. But now I'm in the car with my friends, and I know that the drugs are there. They don't. Hey man, will you take this charge from me? You will? Oh, okay. What about you? You know I'm on probation. Can you've never been in trouble before. Can you take the charge from me, the possession of marijuana charge for me? You will? You're a good friend, man. You're all right with me. You're a good friend. But guess who's on probation now? Me and him. Both on probation. So guess what? When we go riding again, guess what? We get in trouble again. Hey man, we both are on probation. We both in trouble. You'll take it. So now you know what probation means. That you can't get in trouble anymore. Because I'm already on probation, even though he took the charge, I'm still wrong because I shouldn't have been around drugs. So now, you're in trouble because you're on probation. And then guess what? When we go riding again, these two right, they're going to say, look man, I'll leave us out. We're not going. You don't get in trouble too much. Alright? So keep that in mind. And now, I'm using guys, but the same thing for the ladies now. Alright? Don't let your friends get you in trouble. Alright? Any more questions? Any other questions? I thought I saw a hand. Am I boring? No. Okay. I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to ask you something that's real because I'm trying to get it to the guys and to the girls. Your parents are not going to be riding with somebody that gets them in trouble. They got their own car. You know, if they know, if that young lady right there knows that I'm trouble, and I pull up there and say, hey, can I get a ride? Just right off the bat, she's going to say no. Because she knows, hey, he's been in trouble before. He even got my son's friends in trouble. So when I pull up and say, I really need a ride, she's going to say, nope, not today, no. You can't ride with me, no. Because I know you're in trouble. Yes. Okay. Ask if I'm already on probation, I get in trouble again. All right, when I go, first time for me to get on probation, I've gone to jail. I've gone to see a judge. The judge has told me, look, don't get in any more trouble. Stay away from anything that's wrong. I go out and get in trouble again. Now they take me to jail, they let me stay there longer. And I have to go before that same judge, and the judge is sort of like a parent would say, weren't you here before? Didn't I tell you not to get in any more trouble? And most of the time, I'm just going to drop my ears and say, yes sir, yes ma'am, I'm in trouble again. Now what they do is give me more probation, or I might stay in jail longer. And then if I probably, sometimes depending on the crime, if I commit another crime, I go to prison. So probation is just sort of a, I guess to you all, it's maybe like punishment at home. You know, your parents tell you, you've done something wrong, and grounded a punishment. So, you know, they tell you, look, you're grounded for the next 3 weeks. So, you know, the next 3 weeks, don't you even ask. Right? But then after those 3 weeks, you get in trouble again, then they might ground you for a longer period of time. That's similar to what it is. Just remember, I guess, boys and girls, we want you all to just remember, Stay away from drugs. There's nothing positive dealing with drugs. We had a young lady come to the office last week. Her son came to the office and told us that he wasn't on drugs. Never used drugs, don't even know what drugs look like. And he felt that he could come and tell us that. His grandmother brought him to us. And she said he just doesn't seem right. He's changed in his appearance. He's changed in his mannerisms. He's changed. He went from straight A's to F's. And grandmother just said something is not right. Well, by something not being right, grandmother knows I need to get some help. Well, mama was out of town, so mama came back, and she came to the office and she said, look what I found. She brought in drug paraphernalia, things that may be used in association with drugs. She brought in a green leafy substance, which is probably marijuana. She brought in a white powdery substance, which is probably cocaine. And she brought in the paraphernalia that they use to do the drugs with. All that. Does mama need to have a drug test on the boy to find out if he's using drugs? No. I mean, I got asthma. I'm not going to let my friend keep my asthma pump at his house. Because when I need my asthma pump, guess what? Hey, can you bring my asthma pump over here? No, I need my asthma pump. Right? So if you got drugs, paraphernalia, or things that look like drugs at home, guess what you're probably doing? You're probably using drugs. And so now we got to try to work with this young man. He ran off from the mama's house around 10 o'clock at night. He ran off, just walking down the street. And his grandmother didn't know where he was. His mother didn't know where he was. And then suddenly about 4 a.m. in the morning, he calls home and says, hey, grandmama, I'm all right. And I guess grandma's supposed to just wake up and answer the phone and say, oh, good. You're okay, huh? It's 4 o'clock in the morning, and at least you called me. No. When you usually are home by 11:30 or 12 at the latest. So that's when parents started to say, wait a minute, something's not right. And come to find out, he told the grandparents he wasn't on drugs. And when we asked him a question, you know how when y'all probably not going to tell the truth, y'all start to say that again. He started using those words. So we would ask him questions in our office, and every time we asked him a question, it wouldn't be yes or no. It's like he's looking up for something. He's looking up trying to find the answer. It's over there on the wall and everything. But we got a young man now he has a grandmother that's worried about him, a mother that's worried about him, and a stepfather that's worried about him. But he just can't come to the defense or understand the realization that the first way to start to heal yourself is to say, look, I've got a problem. Now I need help with that problem. And then your parents are the ones that can help you. And that's what's the main thing you all need. Ladies and gentlemen, just remember, your parents are the ones that help you with problems. If you got a problem, your parents sort of take it in and say, hey, let me help you with it. They don't say, oh, go on, move on, talk to somebody else. No, they don't do that. They try to help you with the problems. But stay away from the drugs. The drugs are bad for you. Even the ones that the doctor prescribed for you are bad for you if you're not using them in the right way. Those drugs are bad for you. And most of the time, the drugs are only supposed to be taken for a certain period of time, and then you're through with them, because the body is made to repair itself. Your body is made to repair itself, and so you would need that medication. Although sometimes there are some medications that you may have to take every day, and your parents may have to take every day. Make sure you use those medications and in accordance to what the doctor says. Because sometimes those medications might need to be strengthened or turned down. All right? Any other questions? I see the boss coming up front, so now I know it's about time for me to be quiet then. But give yourselves a hand, working with you all. And what schools do we have here? What?
Stratford.
Stratford. Ace. What school? What school? Ace. Howard. Weaver. What grade? I'll be looking for you. Okay. Ace. Oh, the what school? Alice too. Oh, I gotta do a career day coming up over there. I'll be looking. Rosatello. I'll be seeing you. I'll be over there. What schools? Ballard. Miller. What grade? I've seen you before. Okay, Ace. What school? Okay. What grade? Santa Carter? Miss Reeves. One of Miss Reeves' babies. Okay. Stratford. Heritage. Ace. Which one? They were okay. I just saw one of your teachers, the lab teacher. Lab teacher, what's her name? Who? Yeah, just saw her. Stratford. Miss Stevens. Miss Dawson, okay, yeah. You see, that's my job every day. I go to the school, and the good thing about me, I'm like the sheriff officer because I'm in prevention. I sort of feel if you do what I say now, we won't see you later on. You know, later on I just say, hey, I remember that phase, I remember those phases. Now you're grown adults, and then you give me some money later on. Right? Give me some, that means give it to me, you don't have to pay it back, right? So y'all need to be out future doctors, lawyers, scientists, and whatever. So when you see me when I'm old and I'm on my cane, you just walk up and give me $1 million. Right? So hey, you don't have to pay it back, old man. See you later. But yeah, that's my job every day. I go to the school. I'm in a school every day, and right now I'm in middle school. And I'm at the school every day just hoping that everybody's doing what they should do, gaining education and doing what's right. So I'll be seeing some of you all later on. My name is Lieutenant Dunn. I think Lieutenant James knows the Stratford a lot of times. Lieutenant James has I didn't say that, you all did. He has good black hair and a young man. No, he has white hair. White hair. Yeah, Lieutenant James knows the Stratford. I used to go there a couple years ago. Yeah. And he does 5th grade there. So I'll be seeing some of you. Need my help while you see me? Please let me know. Yes, ma'am. Champ, I did champ. That was a 5th grade, and now I'm doing 6th grade with the junior deputy. James got a champ here. So we work in the same office. Our office is right down the street right here. The old Home Depot, you know what that is? That office right up down here, that's our office. So if y'all ever need to come back, we're right up the street. Okay, I got the boss man standing up here real close now, so I know I'm about to be quiet now. All right.